Kelly Stafford apologizes. So here's what happened. Kelly Stafford goes on, and she is the wife of Matthew Stafford, goes on some podcast and says that she dated one of the players to try to motivate Matt to be a future husband, or at least a more committed
to get Matt
boyfriend.
to commit to her.
Yes, he just wanted to play around. So she said, I dated one of his players. So we're going to pull up that clip or that picture of Joe Cox's family. Is that what we're doing here?
So here's how we're setting this up. Kelly Stafford, as you said, went on a podcast last week and said that I dated the backup quarterback to make Matthew Stafford jealous so he would commit to me. Whatever they did in their personal life, fine. But Dave and I are of the mindset, why do you put that out there? You got kids, first off. You really want your kids knowing about that story? Like, there's that. I mean, just, I don't care that you did it, but you don't really need to. That's borderline when Jada Pinkett interviewed Will Smith. Remember that? When Jada Pinkett got caught cheating on Will Smith with their son's best friend. And she's like, let me do all my pockets. I'll bring Will Smith on and we'll talk about this. What? Okay, so that's the first problem. Everybody started speculating over who the backup quarterback was. The most notable backup quarterback for Georgia during that time was Joe Cox to Matthew Stafford. Joe Cox, according to people tied to the program, was very loyal to his girlfriend at the time, very close to the family, and so it seemed like it wasn't him, even though he was the rumored one. So Kelly Stafford took it upon herself to share a picture of Joe Cox's family on her Instagram story yesterday, and then say an apology like, you aren't who I was referring to, you were the family. I'll just share the picture she shared on her Instagram story. Let's just start with that.
Because can we share the text message that we're able to pull where
the text?
I think it was Mrs. Stafford to no, it was from Joe Cox to Mrs. Stafford. It said, just shut the hell up.
I don't think that was there.
Just stop talking. I mean, seriously, stop making this a story. You're making it worse.
Yes.
Guys like Dave Hooker and Caleb Calhoun are going to be talking about it. Before we see the Instagram post, it's brought to you by Apex Apparel Group Design. Call now. Tyler, right down below, 865-919-3001. Get 15% off your first order for your company. Look, they did my shirts, Off the Hook Sports. They look fantastic. I love them. If you're on our video platform, you see how awesome they look. Hit like and subscribe for Apex Apparel Group Design. 15% off your first order. 865-919-3001. All right, Caleb. So let's look at this Instagram post, which is popular with the middle-aged ladies, I've been told. And this is now this is not a picture of Kelly Stafford nor her backside, which Caleb likes to pick off the internet. I mean, I'm not his wife, so I don't have a problem with it, but that's him. I mean, it's up to him.
Okay, so I'm bringing this up because, again,
just imagine your wife who just has had a baby come picking over your shoulder, and you're looking at pictures of Kelly Stafford's butt. She's like, honey, what are you doing?
Oh,
I'm working.
So here's the thing. She didn't just share a picture of Joe Cox. She shared a picture of Joe Cox's whole family when this story was already breathing down Joe Cox's neck, and she thinks she did him a favor by that. So here's what she shared. Can
she even be 100% sure that none of those kids are hers?
Okay, so here's the picture she shared of Joe Cox with his wife and 3 kids. Beautiful family. And here's what she said to this beautiful family. I am sorry for the media storm that happened last week that made its way into your lives. You had zero involvement in what I spoke about. And in fact, it was y'all's relationship in college that I looked up to and wanted for me and Matthew. Weird thing to say, by the way, right? I wanted y'all's relationship. And then she said, you were the couple that everyone thinks Matthew and I was. Y'all were the UGA quarterback and cheerleader that met and never let go. I'm sorry. I'm going to say it. It seemed like Kelly Stafford was on a mission to sabotage Joe Cox's marriage and his family.
Why would he do that? Why would
she share the picture with that's like, I am so sorry for humiliating you as I'm humiliating you again. And by the way, your kids are now going to be in this picture. Your wife is going to be in this picture.
That's the part that was troublesome. The only thing that I was just glad they don't look like they're school age, because I would hate for them to be 12 or 13 and it'd be like the first time at the bus stop when somebody said, "Do you know what a hooker is?" And I said, "No." And they said, "Your mom's a hooker. Do you know what hookers do?" I was like, "What? Huh?" And I had to go to school the whole day and think about that before I could go home and ask. As it turns out, she's not.
Okay.
I mean, that's not how you want to hear that your dad may have hooked up with Uncle Matthew's wife.
All right, crazy Caleb conspiracy coming out here. Joe Cox and his family, beautiful family. Maybe Kelly Stafford has a problem with mixed race marriages, and she wants to sabotage the mixed race marriage.
Oh, come on.
I'm kidding. I'm joking, guys. I'm joking. I have no idea because for those who didn't see, Joe Cox's wife is African American. And so I'm kidding. I'm not calling Kelly Stafford a racist. I'm joking, Kelly Stafford, but you are the one who brought all this up on yourself. Okay. You were the one who decided to share a picture of somebody's family because you said something that implicated him in a salacious sex scandal when he has 3 children and you have 4 children. And then you share a picture of the family and apologize to them publicly, which further humiliates them.
So just for the record, that card or that picture looks like it was off of a Christmas card. So do you think that the Staffords are off the Cox's Christmas card list? I'd never speak to that crazy lady again. And I would tell my wife, I would say, I don't care if y'all are best friends. That's it. I don't keep you from being with certain people except for that person.
Yeah, no, I agree. But no,
she's going to say something crazy.
My guess is the wife said that to Joe Cox.
I'm saying the wife and Joe need to get together and say, we're both on the same page. We don't need to speak to the Staffords anymore. It's basically drunk texting.
I think what happened is
they had to wine out, by the way, I was told at that podcast, which we haven't done yet, but we've considered it.
I think, when I start winning all my gambling picks, I'm going to start doing shots on the show. That's going to be happening in the future. 11 a.m. shots. Let's do it, Dave. Okay, so I think what happened is this. I think Joe Cox's wife came to him and was like, why are you the subject of this story that's going on right now? What were you doing? And then...
Well, of course, if your wife suddenly saw you at the center of this controversy, it's not like you're not going to ask.
Yes. And so I think probably Joe talked to Matthew. Matthew talked to his wife, and she's like, oh my God, I didn't mean to do that. But I think she only made it worse because she just shared the whole freaking family. Why are you sharing their kids in the story? Why are you sharing a photo of their kids?
Buddy, I don't know.